Hey guys, so this phone is not a working phone, like it does not connect to anything except internet. So I apologize for not having part 2 up. Part 2 was up for about an hour and then the cell phone ate it and it didn't save anywhere. So what you missed about what I was saying was my grandfather was adopted, and in his view, if you were not taking a massive piece of rope, tying someone to a beam and beating them or starving them, it wasn't abuse. That's the kind of childhood he had. He was born in 1938, and he was an orphan down in Rogers, Arkansas. And they didn't have CPS. So in his view, so much could be wrong, but not bad. My grandmother came from her own problems, but the family dynamic really began to shift. My grandfather developed either early Alzheimer's or early dementia. It was one of those two. I still don't know which one it is. But he didn't get violent with my grandmother until very late. And I nearly had to pull my best friend off of him. He hit my mother in front of her. And, like, her family's normal. Like, all the kids come from the same parents. And, like, nobody's beat anybody to a pulp in the front yard or anything. So, she wasn't used to that. And I wasn't either. So, but there was a dramatic shift from Arkansas to Texas. Because all of a sudden, all of his children, I didn't know this, had gotten into legal trouble. And it was either go into the service or go to jail. And so he lost 2 children that way, going to the service. He had 1 daughter from his first marriage who was a drug addict and missing. She's gone now. So all of a sudden it became this damage control, because in Harrison it was loving grandpa and so happy to see you when he got home. And then when we got to Texas, it was, why is she still talking? Why is she still awake? And that broke me because I was a daddy's girl. It really broke me. And I have a very strained relationship with men because of it. I either absolutely adore them or I can't stand them. And being 4 years old, I didn't know how it was. I thought something horrible had happened. And my grandmother had come from her own trauma, mostly poverty, mostly incredible poverty. Like a lot of times before I showed up, my grandfather always worked, always had a job, sometimes 2 or 3. But a lot of times when there wasn't meat on the table, he would take a gun out and he would shoot squirrels. I mean, he was going to make sure that they ate because he grew up not eating. I'm sorry. As mad as I am at him, I wish he had had better. No child should have to be hungry. And he was hungry a lot. And he was hurt a lot. Like, legitimately, not like, oh, he didn't get the Christmas gift he wanted. He was tortured as a child. So, going into the Marines and going into combat was his escape. That's how bad it was. Going into Korea was his liberation. And he never healed. And I don't care if you're a veteran in his 90s or if you are some young person in the service now, get the help you need. Go to the treatment centers, talk to somebody, call somebody. Because he had a real violent streak, and with the 2 boys, he was incredibly violent. And I guess I was lucky. I got some violence, don't get me wrong, but, like, he was not okay. And, I mean, I have total respect for veterans. He was highly decorated by Chiang Kai-shek. His biological father parachuted into Normandy. And my grandmother's dad was a Pearl Harbor survivor. My brother was wounded. I was there. I saw it. It was in graduation demonstration. I saw him get shot in the head with a training pellet, and he developed epilepsy. My sister, as crazy as she is, did serve in the Navy. I tried everything to enlist, but they won't take anybody with seizures, and they sure won't take anybody with asthma. So there's nothing in my heart but love and respect for veterans, and I don't care about your age. If you need help, please get it. Please ask someone. I don't care. I mean, I wish you wouldn't go to a religion for it, because, let's be honest, that's just another cult. But don't be alone. We lose veterans way too quickly. And I'm going to say this, and please take this as it is intended. The lucky veterans commit suicide. The unlucky ones live in their own personal hell every day and never get a break. So, I would rather we not lose anyone. Please look into Mission 22 if you need help. Please. Because I like to think that my grandfather and even my brother would have been different human beings. They would have been happy human beings if they got the help they needed, because they were very psychologically damaged and then just told, go home. So you had this massive shift of a man who was trained to kill, who had suddenly become almost an empty nester, and his life was just crumbling, and he was doing damage control all the while I'm there. And my grandmother and I really took the brunt of it. And last I checked, he was still around, but it's been almost 12 years. But this is the missing part 2. I'm sorry that you go 1 and 3, and I'm not an idiot. It's just I have horrible technology. I'm not good with it. But yeah, I'm going to try to pull myself together and finish. But I'm not even going to get into the, well, if you support this regime bullshit. Support your veterans. If you see something, say something. Nothing is more powerful than speaking out. And if you're a veteran, thank you so much for what you've done. Fuck whoever was in charge. Thank you for putting on a uniform. I couldn't, and I have nothing but love and respect for you. And I am in no way saying every veteran is messed up, or if you go into the military, you're going to be messed up. I'm saying people who are damaged are more susceptible to horrible things. People who are broken, people who come from violence, and people who are dealt these horrible cards. And if you have depression, if you're trying to get away from a legal problem, if you're trying to outrun something, there are healthier ways. And I want you all to have the life you want. Like Bud Abbott said, may you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. Sorry, I miss the community of home. So yeah, part 4 is coming up. Yeah, part 4. There was a 4th finger, I swear. This one just sways from the rest of the group. I think he's an introvert. So yeah, next video.